What is going on, y'all? Back with another video, and we're on the same trail as yesterday. It's not minus 20 today, thank God. It's like minus 3. So I'm gonna try to go a little bit further in and see what we can find on our travels. We got a few things to talk about as well. So the first thing I want to talk about, I just got out of Walmart about 45 minutes ago. Now, this is a funny story, and believe me, it gets somewhere. I went in there for two reasons. First one is to take a look at the PS4 games, and also, as I mentioned in my last video, having some issues with my PS4 controller not charging, so I went in there looking for a cable so I could get this rectified. So the first things first, I don't know where you guys are or how things are, but fuck me, in Ontario right now, we're not in a full lockdown, but I'm telling you, like, nobody's fucking working right now. I went into Walmart, fucking store was packed. You'd swear it was like Christmas shopping. And man, if you've got anxiety, which I have a little bit, admittedly, when it comes to going into stores where there's a large group of people, yeah, you may not want to go out shopping right now. So I went in there, and it seems like Sony, I don't know, maybe it's Walmart, but it seems like they no longer sell PS4 accessories at Walmart, just PS5. Wrap your head around that. Most people own a PS4, yet the only accessories that were available were for PS5. So they had a decent looking cable. Mind you, at this point I could just get a generic cable, but I as I mentioned, I'm tired of fucking around with this. I want to make sure I've got the right cable, right? So they had a cable there. It was for PS5. I'm thinking there's no way Sony changed the USB cable from the PS4 to the PS5. They wouldn't do that. So I picked up the cable. I think it was like $12.99. PS5 accessory. I get back to the car, and sure enough, the fucking cable that plugs into the controller is not the same as the PS4. So I marched my ass right back into Walmart and returned the cable. So then I went over to Staples and I picked up another cable. This one was for a, you know, if you're using it with your Samsung Galaxy as an example. Decent looking cable, 10 bucks. Braided. And I went back to the car and I plugged it in. And the controller is now flashing blue, like it's trying to pair with the console. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know if my other cable at home was charging the whole time. I don't know, maybe this cable's working with the control. I don't know, guys. So I'm gonna go home later and check it out, but it looks like the controller is working again. The second thing, I finally picked up a game for the PS4. Now when I went into Walmart, actually even before we even go down that road, you guys out there that have PS5s and Xbox Series consoles, and maybe this is a polarizing thing for me to say this, but we're gonna go to the Lookout again. At least in Canada here, for a brand new PS5 game, it's fucking, what was it at the store there at Walmart? I think it was $89.99. That's, with tax, that's over $100 Canadian. If you guys are paying whatever it is US for a full price retail game, kudos to you, but that's a terrible fucking investment. These games go on sale eventually, for the most part. There's no reason to be paying full fucking retail for these games. That's a good way to fucking piss your money away. So yeah, I went into Walmart, was taking a look at the games. They didn't really have a huge selection. I went back to the bargain aisle, and what do I find? I find Daymar. So if you don't know what Daymar is, this is an indie release. Originally started out as either I think it might have been a remake of Resident Evil 2 on the PS1, and I think Capcom stepped in. You guys hear that? Capcom stepped in and put a stop to it. I think that's the story. So this dev team ended up continuing on with the project, and they created their own sort of ode to not only old school survival horror games, but you know, the old George A. Romero films of the 80s. So Daymar takes place, I think, in 1988. Again, very much like Resident Evil. I think it even has tank controls, I could be mistaken. Looks really good. I've known about it for a long time. Again, a title that I always wanted to check out, but I didn't have a PS4. And it's cool that I got a physical release. And there's a sequel coming out too. So I got it for dirt cheap. I got it for $15. Doesn't have a manual. I don't care. I just want to play the game. So I've got enough games on my plate, so I'm not going to get to it anytime soon. But there you have it. I've started my, which I hope it'll be an eclectic PS4 collection of niche titles. I don't want to have a huge collection. I might pick up Until Dawn. Jury's still out on that one. But yeah, I'm excited to check out Daymar. Really excited about that. So here we are, out on the lookout. You can see that is the highway over there. And it's not a sunny day, but that kind of works out in our favor, because when you're filming, sometimes the sun, like the rays, the lens flare, it can disrupt the filming. So, all right, so let's continue on the trail and see what other trouble we can get into. All right, so the next thing we'll talk about this as briefly as possible, and we'll move on. I was directed to a video posted by Turbo Joe yesterday. He's promoting, I guess, a new podcast. It's Overthink Gaming's new podcast, The Three Amigos. Now, I don't want to cut the guy up or say anything disparaging about the guy. I just mere observations, but never watched the video, but I know Overthink Gaming posted a video, maybe more than one, where he was hypercritical of RGT85. If you don't know who RGT85 is, he's basically another cookie cutter YouTuber that, you know, his whole channel revolves around the Nintendo Switch. Clickbait thumbnails, videos that are exactly 10 minutes long. You know, thumbnails where his hands are on his cheeks and his mouth is open. You know, the Home Alone face. So there's nothing original or organic or appealing about this guy's channel whatsoever. Shitty production values. Like I said, very cookie cutter. And just the cherry on the cake is the guy's personality, or lack thereof. So the guy talks like a mile a minute. Again, we're talking about RGT85. He talks a mile a minute. He's like Dreamcast guy. He's got to be the first person to put out a video on a topic. You know, I got a copy of Metroid Dread, and I got it early, and I beat it already. I've had it for an hour, and I've already beat it. And so I could go on and on and on and on and on about this guy, but I'm not. So again, this is a full-time career for RGT85. You know, full-time YouTuber. Yeah, he's a full-time YouTuber. He's a content creator, a professional content creator. So yeah, this guy, if I ever bumped into him on the street, I wouldn't give him the time of day. Not worth my time. He's not a celebrity. He's just an average Joe, just like everyone else on the street. When the cameras turn off and he shuts his computer down and he walks out the front door to go get his groceries, nobody at the grocery store gives a fuck who he is. Nor should they. So I guess the three amigos are interviewing RGT85. So there's not much I can really say about it, you know, like, great, you know, maybe it's a good opportunity to sort of promote your individual channels, maybe. You know, maybe you can ask this guy some hardball questions. Doubt that's gonna happen. But the real meat and potatoes of this conversation is, and I'm limited as to what I can say, but you got Overthink Gaming, who has been overly critical of this guy, RGT85, and now what it seems like is he's doing a complete 180 and he's interviewing RGT85 on his podcast. So can you get any more hypocritical? Oh my god. You know, that's like you know, me being critical of John Hancock and then bumping into him at a convention and, can I have your autograph? It's absolutely ridiculous. So it's like, with regards to Overthink Gaming, are you gonna take down those videos on RGT85? Does he know about those videos that you posted of him? Are we gonna pretend like these videos don't exist? Seriously, dude. But again, who knows? Maybe this is an ambush. Maybe RGT85 will come on the podcast, and then Overthink will berate him with all kinds of legitimate questions, like, why does your YouTube channel suck? You know. But that's not gonna happen. It's gonna be like a big schmoz. You know, it's gonna be a gong show. Everybody's gonna be gathering around in a circle jerk, pulling each other's knobs. So that's it about that. Let's keep trucking and see what else we can find on the trail. Alright, so the next thing we'll talk about here, I was able to get into Doom Eternal yesterday, playing it on the Xbox One. Now the first thing is, I want to mention this. So when you install the game, you have to install what's called Battle Mode, which is the online multiplayer battle royale, I guess. You have to install that in order to play the single player campaign. Whatever, I did that. Then you boot up the game, and you immediately get hit with a request to sign up for, I guess you gotta create a Bethesda account. So you gotta create like an email address, sign up for this Bethesda.net, whatever it is. I'm like, I ain't fucking doing that. So you can't even play the game unless you sign up and create a Bethesda account. Like, this is just, oh my god, what's the word for that? Draconian? But there's a way around it. You could, if you disconnect your console from the internet and then boot the game back up, it no longer recognizes that you're connected to the internet, and you can play the game without having to create a Bethesda account. So yeah, so that's exactly what I did. So first impressions of this game, I gotta say, and I've talked about this before on the channel, playing Doom 2016, I was surprised at how good it was. I didn't think it looked good watching the reviews online, and the same goes for Doom Eternal. So when you're watching these reviews online, the big issue with it, like these big channels like IGN, is they take a bunch of clips that are like fucking 3 seconds long, and they're usually action sequences, and they splice them all together, and they don't really give you a real representation as to how the game plays. So when I played it yesterday, it became quickly apparent the gameplay is much better well, not much, but it plays better than Doom 2016. There's bouts of exploration, periods where you're not always in the action, which I enjoy. The game has a new feature where you can wall climb. You can jump onto a wall and climb, and you press down on both thumbsticks to latch onto the wall. And I love that feature. That's awesome. The music is incredible. There's it almost has a Doom 3 vibe to it. Some of the music, it's some Gorgarian chanting in there, and some heavy metal. It's really good. The level design, from what I've seen so far, most of it's outside. The first game there was too much. What's that guy's name? Was it Andrew Hayden? No, it's Hayden. Something Hayden. Maybe I got that wrong. This guy that would always pop up on screen, and you always had to interact with him in Doom 2016. So far, I haven't really seen the guy in Doom Eternal. I haven't been bombarded with this guy, and there hasn't been constantly, fetching keys to open doors. They sort of like got away from that, which is good. Yeah, the character animations, for the enemies, I've mentioned this before, it kind of looks like a Saturday morning Nickelodeon cartoon. I wish id Software would go with a darker vibe in the new Doom games, kind of like Doom 3, but it is what it is. The game is extremely tight and fast-paced, and man, oh man, I'm having a blast with it. Fantastic. I did notice though, because Doom 2016, I had played that one on easy, and I got my ass kicked. Again, I'm just like DJC Game Studios. I enjoy playing games. I never said I was good at them. So I put Doom Eternal on, and I put that on I'm Way Too Young to Die, I think it's called. And it seems like it's way easier than Doom 2016. So I'm gonna bump the difficulty up, play it on normal, because right now it's just a little bit too easy. But yeah, so far, fantastic. Enjoying it, every moment of it. Do I wish the game was more like Doom 3? Yes. Talk about that at nausea, but I'm not. But for what it is, and for what I paid for it, I think I paid 20 bucks for it. Well worth my money. I don't know how they got those games, Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, to run on the Nintendo Switch, because they look absolutely incredible on the Xbox One X. And I imagine on the Nintendo Switch those games must have been downgraded substantially. But then again, sometimes you don't notice because you're playing it on a small screen. So that's just a whole nother rabbit hole that we won't go down. Anyways, so far, Doom Eternal, fantastic. So yeah, 2022 New Year's resolution, try to get in better shape. I think that's a resolution for everyone on the wrong side of 30 every year, is to get in better shape. So all the gyms are closed right now. Not that I go to the gym, but you got to get out at least once a day. And sure, walking on this trail is not gonna fix anyone's weight issues overnight, but if you keep pushing and you try to eat as healthy as possible within reason, your goals can be obtained, absolutely. So what do they say? Rome wasn't built in a day. These things take time. So that's my goals for 2022. I try to go for a walk during the day like this, and then at night I try to go for another walk. Absolutely. The thing is, once you get to be in your late 30s or 40s, your metabolism starts to slow down. When you're just a kid or you're in your teens, you can eat a pizza and you don't have to worry too much that you're going to pack on the pounds. You're out riding your bicycle, you're outside, you're doing stuff. But then once you get to be a little bit older, You know, you eat a pizza. Well, you can go out and run around and bicycle all you want. It may not really do a whole lot for you if you end up going home and eating more junk food, which we've all been guilty of. There's actually something else I wanted to talk about with regards to the PlayStation 4. I had someone yesterday recommend to me a game called Ghosts of Tsushima. Now, I'm fully aware of what that is. I've seen videos on it. The game looks fucking incredible from a graphics perspective. Now, is that developed by From Software, or am I thinking of something else? Or was this game developed by Sony Interactive? I'll probably look it up after I post this video, but the reason why I ask is because those From Software games, those Dark Souls games, they're just way too fucking hard for me. But, you know, if it's a game that was developed by Sony, probably not going to be, well, basically Dark Souls. And maybe I can sink my teeth into it, I don't know. I feel like I got it wrong. I feel like Ghost of Tsushima wasn't done by From Software. I think I'm thinking of something else. Let me know in the comments below. Wonder if this leads us to Copperhead Road. Something else I want to talk about, customer service related. As we were talking about Walmart earlier, something really chaps my ass. Maybe I'm the only one, maybe not. So when you go into a fast food restaurant, usually I don't care about this sort of thing, but I find with Subway, it's just Subway. Maybe you could throw Harvey's in with this, but mostly it's just Subway. Isn't it super fucking annoying when you walk in there and there's like 2 or 3 people ahead of you, or maybe just one person ahead of you, and when it comes time for them to tell the employee what they want in their sub, they have to actually walk up to the glass that shelters the food from the customer, and they have to be like, oh, can you put a little bit of green olives on there, and lots and lots of lettuce, and just a few tomatoes. Not that much, that's too much. And some hot peppers, and a little bit of mayo, a little bit of salt and pepper, and actually, I swear to God, if there's one fast food restaurant, you know, if I was still, you know, 17 years old, 18, I would never work at Subway. I would jump over the fucking glass table and I would snap at somebody. When you give the consumer the option to be that picky and choosy and selective about what they want on their fucking sub, oh my God, you gotta laugh, you know, when the person's like, can you put lots of olives on there? Like, okay, is lots of olives going to, you know, enhance the taste of your sub that much? Like, do you have to really, like, can't you just say olives? Does it have to be lots of olives? Just a little bit of salt and pepper? Just a little bit of mayo? Fuck off. Just let the employee make your goddamn sub. Get the fuck out of the store. Eat your sub and get on with your day. Pull back here. I don't think this goes much further, but I was watching a video this morning, popped up my feed from IGN. Again, I'm not subscribed to IGN, but saw there's a new Kirby game coming out for the Nintendo Switch. there's not really much else I can really say about it. I like Kirby games. This one looks to be, I guess, in the same vein as Mario 3D World. Came out on the Wii U. Maybe I'm wrong on that. That's what it looks like. Again, I don't collect for the Switch. I don't believe in paying full retail for Nintendo games. But yeah, for any of you Kirby fans out there, apparently there's a new Kirby game coming out. I actually had someone today post in my comments. They're saying, thanks for posting this video showing off your PS4, because I was on the fence about buying one, and they were just sort of alluding to the fact that I helped them out, you know, with regards to the different versions of PS4 Pro out there. You know, there's the 7000 series, 7100, and there's the 7200. So it's more of a consumer awareness piece. And I think it's important information. You know, if somebody, you know, if I get 100 views on a video, which I get it is not a lot, but it's never been about the views with me, and one person can benefit from the video, I think that's fucking awesome. So I'm kind of torn on whether or not I prefer coming out on the trails like this when it's winter or during the summer, because yeah, it's fucking nice when it's hot out. You come back here, let's say on like a Sunday morning with a coffee, and you go for a walk. But you know, the problem is, and I've talked about this before, once we get that nice weather, and there's a beach around here too, I was checking it out earlier. Once we get that nice weather, these trails just become saturated with humans. Again, especially with COVID, everybody's trying to get out, and it just makes for a less enjoyable experience when you have to deal with people walking their dogs, walking their fucking babies, whatever. But you come out here like this in the middle of the winter and there's nobody out here. It's nice and quiet, peaceful. You can film. And for all you guys watching, you know, not everybody has snow where they are. You know, it's enjoyable, relaxing. What do they call it? ASMR? Crunch, crunch, crunch. Yeah, so yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go over to the beach and I'll show you guys what I mean. Looks like there's already a couple of people here at the beach. There's actually a couple of people out there skating on the ice. So, see this guy over there is actually walking on the ice. So that's the beach. So there's one other thing I wanted to talk about, and then we'll cut this video off. I almost forgot to mention. So Dreamcast guy, he's been filming with the lights off in his apartment. So I don't know if he's trying to save on his hydro, but he finally, I guess according to him, upgraded his setup. He's got a new laptop, and he's got a green screen. So the reason why I want to mention this, and this might sound harsh to a lot of you, and I'm no prince myself, but like the dude, Dreamcast guy, like he's got a terrible complexion. Okay, maybe that's his fault, maybe it isn't. I don't know his story. But when you watch his videos, it's almost a benefit to him when we don't have to look at his face and we just see gameplay footage. I'm sorry, I'm just calling it as it is. Just someone skating right there. So with his new setup, he's got the green screen, he's got the gameplay footage, and now we have to stare at his ugly ass fucking mug the entire video. Am I the only one who sees this as, you know, a downgrade compared to his previous setup? At least before, we didn't have to look at his ugly fucking face. Now, not to say that his content's that good, but it's like shock value. It's like watching MJR. I'll turn his channel on just to get a laugh, but now it's like, dude, the green screen for him specifically, it's not doing him any favors. it's arguably worse than if he just posted videos showing gameplay with his voiceovers. That's just my opinion on the matter. So anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna cut it off here, let these people enjoy their skating on the ice, and I'm gonna go home and get back to playing Doom Eternal. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.
Yes, any last things you guys want to say?
I appreciate you stopping by, man.
Anytime.
Yeah, what's up, RGT85? You were an inspiration. You were an inspiration. You were an inspiration.
Yes, any last things you guys want to say? I appreciate you stopping by, man. Yeah, anytime. It was fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, RGT85. You were an inspiration, years ago. And
I still watch it, man. I just, I get every time you have something other than the Nintendo Switch stuff, I get excited for, because I know how you have to adapt.
Gotta make the money.